from Goofy early in the run. Again, Blizzard is just very powerful for these Power Wild fights.
And this is, in my opinion, the worst Power Wild fight, because they can be anywhere in here. And you want them to line up so that the Blizzard, being like a shotgun spell, kind of just gets rid of them immediately.
Wow, that was really good.
There's some good Power Wilds, man. Those are really good switching.
What's really cool about this run is having to, I actually love the Power Wild segment because you're always adapting to, I promise I do, you're always adapting to what they're doing. You have to read their movements really well in order to go fast in any situation. You can also just get lucky, but...
That's what I try to do.
So Zetras had to bail there because he could have been two-shotted really easily by their jump attack.
Also, Sora's dance move there, that sliding dash. That's the first time you guys had seen it there. That's a Final Mix exclusive ability, not a part of Kingdom Hearts 1.
The downside is once you start the slide, you're at a fixed angle, so you really have to be precise with it. And these guys, as you can see, they're walking around and everything, so it's and jumping, so it's really hard to land slide dashes on them.
Oh. Wow.
Those were great Power Wilds. Those were really good Power Wilds.
Not bad, not bad.
Usually they go worse. Yeah, we got Sabor once again, but this time we have to win. And there's a pretty interesting strat where we actually are going to corner him and try to combo him to death with our party members, because they are pretty strong too right now. If it works, we'll knock him down and corner him, but sometimes he can get away, and we want to keep him away from the bamboo because he can jump into the bamboo and waste time.
So, shout out to J-Helps for finding the strat and testing it meticulously. Ooh.
This is risky.
Yeah.
At this point, he's also mashing triangle because it alerts your party members. Tarzan and Donald are actually doing a lot of damage to him right now.
There we go.
Okay, good recovery. That was a very good recovery.
That was very scary.
Yeah. I knew I could have backed out and healed, but that was like my one chance to get it going. So.
To knock him down, we need a finisher, basically, and it doesn't come out fast. It's actually very incredibly hard to land those air combos on Sabor. He's so low to the ground, it's easy to drop it into a ground finisher, and then they won't go off in time before he doesn't attack. So.
I'm sure there's a lot of people at home are probably thinking, oh, a lot of this is just like jumping and attacking. Jumping and attacking is actually, like to this level, is actually really hard to do in this game. You have to be very quick with your mashing. A lot of it is short combos. If you're not mashing hard enough, you will land and cancel out your attack, and that's very slow. So you have to definitely have a very good mashing position.
So
Ooh, frame perfect.
Yes, nice. So right there, he equipped the White Fang that you got from Sabor. That increases your strength, defense, and AP, and he also equipped the scan ability. So now he'll be able to see enemy health.
Except for this thing.
Except,
for some
well,
reason.
it doesn't have health. It's just a hit counter.
Yeah, it takes 15 hits to kill this thing.
If any Sora's hits, finishers don't matter or anything. It's just 15.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if Tarzan or Donald hit it either. It's just 15 hits with the Keyblade.
Fortunately, it's a relatively safe fight because your party members will keep away the Power Wilds. We usually would only get hit once, if anything.
All right, so this is the last fight. As soon as this guy's dead, we're taking the top 5 songs. So be ready on the refresh, and then we will get that started pretty soon.
If this doesn't fail...
We're coming up on a fight that many people casually just cannot stand. It is incredibly difficult, and the one spell we would want to use, which is Cure, we don't get until right after the fight. So we basically have to deal with a boss that 2 hits us, and we have to deal with Clayton's Stealth Sneak that is also in the fight,
that was
and we
awful
separate them.
commentary.
So we basically have 2 bosses attacking us at roughly the same time.
Still,
this first one's kind of just a filler fight where we want to get his HP down enough to progress it, so we have to watch out for those Power Wilds. Zetras is going to do very specific combos here. You only have to do a certain amount of combos to basically make Stealth Sneak appear, and then we're going to try to separate them. because that's the only way to damage Clayton. Because killing Stealth Sneak is optional, believe it or not.
Stealth Zeke? Oh, the
At
thing.
this point, short jump combos are very important. If he's a little slow, that's going to give Stealth Sneak time to get back up and two-shot you. Unfortunately, you're dealing with a terrible terrain, and Clayton should probably play for the NBA. His jump shot.
On the goat, that goat, killing it.
Go away, bitch.
You got caught on a vine. Yeah, the terrain there is really obnoxious.
Yeah, what actually happens is those slides that are only available in that fight will actually sort of magnetize Sora to them. So if you're going to swing or do something else, it will just make you slide down them and basically cause you to die. I think Mist had one situation in the history of 1.5 speedrunning where it helped him.
Interestingly, we can actually leave this first fight. The game actually lets you walk away from Clayton for some unknown, bogus reason. And there's a few fights. Sabor that we just beat is another fight we could have walked away from.
You can't progress the game when you do that. You still have to beat him eventually.
So to note, that health will carry over.
Yeah, I died.
That's not hitting, because dodge roll does get a lot of invincibility frames. And at this point, the damage doesn't matter because you're not trying to kill Stealth Sneak. He just has to wait for a visual cue, then get him stuck back in this corner just to try to keep Stealth Sneak as far away as possible. Unfortunately, you can whiff a lot of hits, not really because of yourself, just because the terrain's terrible and Clayton has a small hitbox.
So we're trying to carry Clayton away from Stealth Sneak to avoid those lasers, because they will not track you well all the way down here.
Again, just look at how close Sora's feet are to the ground. He's giving as tiny a hops as possible. Nice.
Yay!
All right, and with that, the Disney Song Bidding War is closed. Up first, with $2,282, we have I'll Make a Man Out of You. With $1,535, we have Gaston.
Make
With
a man.
$1,462, we have A Whole New World. With $1,269, we have Let It Go. And our fifth song,
Fuck yeah, Let It Go.
$1,102, we have Go the Distance.
Let it go.
Over 1,000.
Let's go.
Thank you guys very much for your donations, and look forward to the songs.
I want to mention here that this is a pretty tricky place to go through fast. It's a lot of ledges that are difficult to grab and jump over and such. So Zetris says that no problem. You can go different routes up there, but the one we chose is to grab more items to sell.
All right,
So
so
you
from here
did
it's just
two
kind
hype?
of, we decided to do this, we actually have a little bit of time, but just, we decided to do this because this is definitely the slowest segment of the round. There are a couple of things we'll explain when we go back to Traverse Town 2, but there aren't really any boss fights or anything, so we decided to serenade you guys once again with Disney songs. Up first, we're going to have Bloody Biscuits doing I'll Make a Man Out of You, coming in first place.
Our block is ready.
How you guys doing? You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Didn't they send me daughters when I asked for sons?
Is it Mulan?
You're the saddest bunch I've ever met. But you can bet
Wait, where is
before we're through, Mr. I'll make a man out of you. Tranquil as a forest, but on fire within. Once you find your center,
Good enough.
you are sure to win. You're a spineless, pale, pathetic lot, and you haven't got a clue. Somehow I'll make a man out of you.
Be a man.
I'm never gonna catch my breath. Say goodbye to those who knew me. Boy, was a fool in school for cutting gym. This guy's got him scared to death. Hope he doesn't see right through me. Man, I really wish that I knew how to swim. Be a man. You must be swift as a coursing river. Be a man. With all the strength of a great typhoon. With all the force of a raging fire. Mysterious as the dark side of the moon.
Make a man.
Time is racing toward us.
Fuck.
Until the Huns arrive. Heed my every order, and you might survive. You're unsuited for the rage of war. So pack up, go home, you're through. How could I make a man out of you?
Okay.
Be a man, you must be swift as a coursing river. With all the force of a great typhoon. Be a man. With all the strength of a raging fire. Mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Be a man, you must be swift as a coursing river. With all the strength of a great typhoon. With all the force of a raging fire. Mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Ha!
Out of And where's the thing? Fuck, no, fuck. Please be Korean.
Look deeply into them, Spike. Look me in the eyes.
Oh, it will be. I can't look. I get terrified of crowds. No, okay. Boom. All right, so that was awesome. What? Oh, okay, so you're good. No, we're good. We got time. We're not fine. All right, so this is another gummy mission. We're going to sing again. All right, we're doing these two back-to-back, but we'll break up the others. So, this is Gaston, coming in second place from Beauty and the Beast. Gaston, being played by Zem, and LeFou, I was trying to remember his name, from me. Okay.
Who does she think she is? That girl has tangled with the wrong man.
Yeah, darn right.
No one says no to Gaston. Dismissed, rejected, publicly humiliated. Why, it's more than I can bear.
More beer?
What for? Nothing helps. I'm disgraced.
Who? You? Never. Gaston, you've got to pull yourself together. What? You want me to say something? Okay. Gosh, it disturbs me to see you, Gaston, looking so down in the dumps. Every guy here'd love to be you, Gaston, even when taking your lumps. There's no man in town as admired as you. You're everyone's favorite guy. Everyone's awed and inspired by you, and it's not very hard to see why. I got a tweet. No one's slick as Gaston, no one's quick as Gaston, no one's neck is incredibly thick as Gaston, for there's no man in town half as manly, perfect, a pure paragon. You can ask any Tom, Dick, or Stanley, and they'll tell you whose team they prefer to be on. No one's been like Gaston, a kingpin like Gaston. No one's got a slow cleft in his chin like Gaston.
As a specimen, yes, I'm intimidating.
My, what a guy, Gaston. Give 5 hurrahs, give 12 hip hips. Gaston is the best. I'm reading all the other parts. Gaston is the best, and the rest is all drips. No one fights like Gaston, douses lights like Gaston. In a wrestling match, nobody bites like Gaston. For there's no one as burly and brawny.
As you can see, I've got biceps to spare.
Not a bit of him scraggly or scrawny.
That's right, and every last inch of me's covered in hair.
No one hits like Gaston, matches wits like Gaston. In a spitting match, nobody spits like Gaston.
I'm especially good at expectorating.
10 points, good deal. All right.
When I was a lad, I ate 4 dozen eggs every morning to help me get large. And now that I've grown, I eat 5 dozen eggs, so I'm roughly the size of a bunch.
Wow, that's TheBetus.
My, what a guy, Gaston. No one shoots like Gaston, makes those buttes like those. What?
Wait, did I
What are
miss?
these words? I don't know. Then goes tramping around wearing boots like Gaston.
I use antlers in all of my decorating.
My, what a guy, Gaston.
Please say it's 16. Please say I have 17.
Well, right now they're selling.
Yes, we are selling a bunch of stuff that we don't need that we picked up so that we can afford faster gummy parks at the end of this world.
Alright. So next up, let's wait a second at this point. Let's get through. I think we should do Merlin's and then we'll do songs 3 and 4. Is what we'll do. Sure. Sounds great. You can be a donation.
I don't know how I can read after that. I can't.
Dude, I had to sing with it next to it, so it's fine.
All right, so we have a $200 donation from Principia. Love Kingdom Hearts, so happy to see it at AGDQ. Let It Go needs to get drowned under the sea. Cancer takes too many awesome people away from the world. Thanks for helping out.
These rocks are random. They're stupid.
Not fun to fall in the water there.
Oh, you fall in the water, you use a lot of time because you have to backtrack to the entrance.
And, you know, big surprise, swimming's not really fast.
Oh, fuck!
They really did it.
We saw this coming.
Mega Man.
We're just here for story reasons, really. We have to give Merlin an item that Sid gave us.
Right. The biggest thing that we're getting, is just Simba. A very powerful summon that probably a lot of people didn't understand how he worked. There's a lot of mechanics in this game that people just didn't really understand playing through it casually, but you will get to see the power of Simba in this run, I promise you.
And basically, almost all summons are used in this run except for, I believe, 2. And a lot of people, like you said, casually don't even really use summons because they won't use them at proper times or they don't understand what they do. Because, to be honest, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 don't really explain to you what the summons really do. You don't really find out until you use them yourself. So because of that, a lot of people casually won't use them, but in speedrunning, they're actually incredibly useful on a number of fights, and you will see exactly why eventually.
Zetris also stepped on that save point very purposefully because in order to activate a save point so that you can warp to it later, you need to step on it. And he's actually going to do that when later on he gets the summon Dumbo. So that was the reason for that.
I'm taking it, sorry. And what's the time?
And while we were singing, I guess the biggest thing to note is that the upcoming shopping trip is actually the only shopping trip in the game. We are going to be selling 4 things in order to get to 1,250 money, which he already sold back there. But then we're just buying 2 gummy pieces just to make that faster.
Then
Nothing
3?
else is worth it to buy throughout the run, actually. We're just going to work with what the game naturally gives us in the way of, obviously, weapons and accessories. We don't bother getting anything for Donald and Goofy.
Something of note here is that there is a boss we can fight right now called Opposite Armor, and the game kind of wants you to, but you can actually just kind of peace out right now, so that's what we're going to do and come back later for it.
So Riz here actually, so what you're giving up throughout the middle section of the run is Arrow, which any of you who haven't played it, Arrow basically just increases your defense. So anything that 2-shots you, now 4-shots you, and so on and so forth. Actually in Proud, it's pretty much just 2 to 4. But yeah, Riz actually has been routing out a route that gets Arrow because the mid game is very frustrating. A lot of things can be out of your control and kill you. But yeah, the optimal route is without a doubt skipping Opposite Armor right now, not having Arrow, which just makes the entire mid game in Proud mode very, very scary. And here's him getting the Fyra and the Haste Gummies. The Haste Gummy effectively is going to make the Gummy ship even more like Star Fox 64. It's just going to have a short boost.
So right there, he bought the Fyra G and Haste G, which we will immediately equip for a faster Gummy ship as soon as we leave this room.
Fuck.
All right, and with that, we are in another Gummy mission. He's going to go ahead and equip those. You'll be able to notice how much faster he's going. But next up, we have Kung Fu Fruit Cup. Thank you for joining us, love. And hey, what's up? And we will be doing Let It Go.
Yes.
All right. I can't say I'll be as entertaining as those two were because, oh my god, that was so funny.
I'll be singing with, don't worry.
Okie dokie. I'm sure you may have heard, but this is Let It Go. The snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen.
For what I know, actually.
Kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like this swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I tried. Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they know. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away and slam the door.
Blah, blah, blah.
I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway. It's funny how some distance makes everything seem small. The fears that once controlled me can't get to me at all.
I like. Not complaining.
It's time to see what I can do to test the limits and break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me.
Speech reps.
I'm free. Let it go. Let it go. I am one with the wind and sky. Let it go. Let it go. You'll never see me cry. Here I stand, and here I'll stay. Let the storm rage on. My power flurries through the air into the ground. My soul is spiraling in frozen fractals all around. And one thought crystallizes like an icy blast. I'm never going back. The past is in the past. Let it go. Let it go. I'll rise like the break of dawn. Let it go. Let it go. That perfect girl is gone. Here I stand in the light of day. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway.
That was really nice. Not of me, of her. Hey, wow! Skip!
Alright, so here we are in Agrabah. I think all of us that collectively run this agree that
to the max.
this is the worst world in the run. Every single fight can go very poorly and either kill us or just waste a ton of time. We basically just don't have a lot of control. And the very first fight he's going to do, actually, you will see
I don't know
Simba
this other
use.
speed strat anymore.
And he's pausing there so that the summon loads while the enemies are not moving. It doesn't actually make it go faster, it only stops the enemies from moving, or else they will hit us while we're trying to let Simba's attack go off.
The way Simba works is you hold down what is the reaction command with triangle, and meter builds, and Simba's great at dealing with these hordes of enemies. All Zetris has to do is just store up one charge. He's waiting for all of them to come out of the ground, because then it won't hit them all if they're still in the sand, and he can effectively just wipe out the 2 waves of Heartless very quickly.
The game actually could have crashed there if Simba jumped at the end. If Simba's still out at the end of that fight and he jumps, the game crashed.